All right, this is Boxing with the Truth, and I am the Truth. We're here on March 8th, 2015, and we are here with pro boxer Darnell Diesel Boone. How you doing today, Darnell?
I'm doing great, man. How you feeling today?
I'm good. I'm really happy to do this interview, and I'm glad that you could take time to do it with us.
Oh, man, my pleasure, man.
So I just want to get into it right away. You actually are age 35. You fight at super middleweight, and right now, according to BoxRec, which some people don't follow, some people do, based on the U.S. rankings, you're number 13 in the U.S. and 52nd in the world.
Oh, that's what's up.
So now you actually are from Youngtowns, Ohio, but you're actually in Miami right now, right?
Yeah, I'm in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Okay, and your pro record, and I don't want people to be deceived by this because it could be a lot different based on some of the fights that you were in and if they went different ways. So your pro record actually is 20 wins with 9 knockouts, 21 losses with 4 knockouts, and 4 draws.
Yes.
But we'll get into how that record could have flip-flopped many different ways in a minute. But I also want, and the reason I'm bringing it up that way is because, first of all, you have no amateur background, correct?
No, I only had 10 amateur fights.
Okay, so you had 10 amateur fights in the amateurs, but I personally think you're an underrated fighter, and a lot of other people do, and this is why I'm going to get into that. Out of your record, like I just said, 20 wins, 21 losses, and 4 draws, you have actually fought 20 guys that were undefeated. You fought 9 guys that only had 1 loss, and you went to the decision out of 28 fights in your career, out of a total of 45 fights. So a lot of people don't realize that. They just look at your record. So I think that's really important for people to understand that when they break down your record. And then some of the guys that have actually been on your record that you fought, like Andre Ward, Juan Pascal, Jose Gonzalez, Curtis Stevens, Brian Vera, as Londa, Laura, Adonis Stevenson twice, a few different prospects that are coming up, Sergey Kovala. So, I mean, and the list goes on, but I just wanted to throw a few bigger names out there that people need to realize that you don't duck anybody. You take fights on short notice, and that you are a fighter. You just come to fight. So you ain't trying to pad a record. You ain't trying to look pretty in the ring. You know, none of that. You are a fighter. You're there to fight. You're there to win. You're there to make money and possibly win a world title.
Right, because I feel if you claim to be the best or you want to be the best, you got to do it like you did back in the old days. You got to fight everybody in that bracket to be the best.
No, I agree with you. I think all the top 10 guys, I think it should be mandatory that they all have to fight each other. I think we need a tournament system again where you know, like the Super 6 tournament systems or whatever. I think we need to start doing that more where the top guys are forced to fight each other.
Right.
So I want to ask you about this comment real quick and see what you have to say. I don't know how you feel about your critics. I'm sure you've heard you know, different things through your whole career up and down, but it says he has the best resume in boxing for someone that isn't a top guy.
Yeah, I actually hear that one a lot. And I think the fans and all the writers, you know, for noticing that, you know, that I don't duck anybody. And, you know, it's actually a big accomplishment for not being the one that's been boxing since I was a young kid. Or, you know, been doing it a long time. I just walked in the gym and just started.
Okay.
You know, so it's a big accomplishment to me.
Okay, and speaking of just walking in the gym and started, I came across a story, and I want you to kind of elaborate on it, that you walked into a gym because you were bringing your brother to boxing, and somehow you ended up sparring Kelly Pavlik, and you didn't even know who he was at the time. Is that right?
You're right.
So tell me how that story went.
Oh, my little brother, because I had moved out my mom's house, you know, when I was young. You know, so my little brother came to my house, and he crying about going to practice. So when nobody take him to practice, I'm thinking, he playing for football. He's playing football for one of the teams. I know where all the teams practice at. So I was like, what team you play for? I'll take you to practice. He said, no, I'll box. I said, you box? I'm the big brother. I'm like, what do you mean you box? I never knew there was any gyms around. And I said, you know what, I'm going to take you to practice tomorrow. When we get in there, he wrapped his hands up and all that. And I told the trainer, I said, let me spar somebody. And he told me no at first. And I kept picking with him about sparring. Then he walked away from me. I said I could actually fight. He said, you know how many people come in here and tell us that, and we got to wipe them off and this, that. I said, no, man, there's only one, two things that's going to happen. Either you're going to whoop me or I'm going to whoop him. And he started laughing and walked away. So after my little brother got done, working out or whatever, I went back to the trainer and said, I said, come on, man, let me work with somebody. And he said, okay, all right, I'm going to let you work with somebody. He said, who you want to work with? And I scanned the whole gym. And Kelly was the biggest one in there. I said, give me him. He said, no. I said, no, I want him. And everybody in there, I said, I put my stuff on there, but he's the best one in the gym. I said, there's only one or two things going to happen. Either he going to whoop me or I'm going to whoop him. And with me, I'm not scared. Y'all might be scared, but I'm not scared. So we suited up. And, the round started. We went by half a round. He beat me from post to post. So now the round had ended. I'm wore out. I went to nose and stuff out. You know what I mean? And Kelly gave me a big hug and told me, he said, man, you got a lot of heart, man. You'll do good in this sport. And that day right there, man, I picked the box.
Okay, do you have any type of relationship with Kelly Pavlik now? Yeah. I talk to him off and on, kind of periodically, whether it's through a text or Facebook, I talk to him periodically. Okay, so I want to back up into your career a little bit so people understand. You actually kind of had a tough upbringing. You were involved with the guns running around on the street and the drugs a little bit, and but I know you had a big influence in your younger years. Your stepfather, he was a big influence in your life, and unfortunately he was murdered, right?
Yes.
So what are some of the type of things that he instilled in you that you still carry today?
Family. Everything about family, and that a man needs to work and take care of his family. However you do it, whether it's drugs, whether it's what. If you're gonna do it, be the best at it that you're gonna be.
Okay, and speaking of that, let's jump to a fight that I don't think anybody thought you were going to win this fight. Maybe not even including you, but of course, as a fighter, you go in there always thinking you're going to beat every opponent. So, but maybe you just didn't think you were going to beat them this way. When you first got in the ring with Adonis Stevenson, you obviously were the underdog, and there's not too many people that thought you were going to walk in there and do what you did. So, bring me up to...
I never... Was Adonis, that first fight, I never knew nothing about him. I didn't know of him. I'm thinking I'm just fighting this guy. But, he got cocky. He was picking with me the whole time that we was at our hotel, because he didn't even stay in our hotel. He was just walking in our hotel. I'm talking about smart remarks, walking in and out the door. And then when he told me, what fired me up is he was walking out, him and somebody else. It was one of his friends or something. And he gonna look back and say, "Do you need some good luck for tomorrow?" And right there, it fired me all the way up. And I told my friends that had went up there, because I didn't have a corner that day when I went to fought him. I had one of my best friends work my corner, and I picked up another trainer actually at the fight. And but that night, I said, I'm gonna knock him out tomorrow. And one of a good friends that they actually used his ring. I met him a while ago. Older guy, Mr. Dave. out of Louisiana. They had used his rings, and we eat it after weigh-ins and everything. He said, so boom, what you gonna do tomorrow? I said, I'm gonna knock him out. I said, man, he been messing with me this whole time. He don't know me, and he just thinking and he playing. You know, I said, I'm gonna knock him out tomorrow. And that's exactly what happened.
Okay, after that first fight though, did he come up to you after that fight? Did he like give you any congratulations? Did he apologize for his remarks or anything?
Nope, he didn't even want to take a picture with me in the airport when I tried to take a picture with him.
Okay, and then
he didn't talk to me. He didn't shake my hand. He didn't do nothing. He just walked straight out the ring.
well, basically because you embarrassed him, but
Right.
but so then the second fight happens, and then you get KO'd in the 6th round. So I guess I'm kind of curious, why hasn't there been a third fight made for this?
I want to make one. And then, even with the second fight with me and him, they played with the weights. You know, I signed my contract to fight him at 168. But they waited to change everything until I got there. You know, once I got in Canada, then that's when all the shenanigans started. You know, they had already signed the contract to fight Chad Dawson at 175. The only reason that I had even took the fight is because they was supposed to get the NABA title on the line for it. So if he fight for the NABA title at 168, he got to weigh in at 168. Come to find out, he never even had the NABA title. So now I'm sitting at the breakfast table with my trainer, you know, waiting on to go to weigh-ins that afternoon. And this promoter comes down, he sees me sitting at the table, he say, you might as well eat, because Adonis Stevenson is still like 178, 180. And now I'm like, oh man. Now me not knowing, now if I do not take this fight, they're gonna still pay me what they was originally supposed to pay me. Or I didn't know how they was gonna do it. So when they got to throwing money around, that's why I fought. But he was a not so good at that, because I'm thinking I'm fighting at 168, so I know for a fact I'm walking around at 164, 65 to fight at 168, and he already still 180, 178, trying to fight at 175.
So has there been any talks of a third fight?
I'm trying to make it, but it'd have to be on neutral ground. Cause you see, even after I beat him that first time, he ain't fought out of Canada no more.
Okay.
So it'd have to be on neutral ground somewhere where I ain't from or where he ain't from.
Why not out in Las Vegas?
I definitely want to do a third fight though.
Why not out in Las Vegas?
That'll even work.
I'm sorry, what?
I said that'll even work. You know, where it's gonna be fair.
So let me ask you about another fighter. Wasn't there talks or something a while back about you and Peter Quinlan? What happened with that?
That fight was supposed to happen right after I fought Curtis Stevens. And I thought I was being set up with that fight because they was both out of the same camp. So I didn't take that fight, man.
So is there any chance of you still fighting Peter Quinlan?
Yeah, I want to fight him. I want to fight everybody at 160. If they were going to put them belts up and everything, I'm going to fight whoever at 160. Any of the champs, from GGG on down. It don't matter to me.
Do you have any superstitions or habits or rituals before a fight?
Nope. I go in there and do my thing, man.
if you weren't a professional boxer, what do you think you'd be doing?
If I didn't start boxing, I probably wouldn't be here.
Think you'd be dead?
Yeah,
So you think boxing saved your life then?
it definitely did.
So in that respect, there's a lot of kids coming up now that just have nowhere to go or nothing to do, and they find themselves, unfortunately, like you said, dead or in jail. So what advice would you give to a kid right now that's coming up in the amateurs and wants to turn pro? Because I know you've kind of had a lot of ups and downs, and you don't get the respect you deserve in the sport. So what would you say to him?
They at least has to, find some type of outlet. You know what I'm saying? If they're in the amateurs and they want to go pro, keep at it. It's going to be a long road, you know what I'm saying, depending on what type of people that you got backing you. But as long as they stay truthful to themselves and truthful for what they're trying to do, it can't do nothing but work out. Just keep at it. Hard work pay off. For one, I know.
Speaking of finding the right people, do you think that a lot of your career, the reason the record you got and the way it went, do you think you were managed wrong?
Now that I know, like, the boxing game now, yes, I was managed wrong. I was through to the wolves. But you figure then, just coming up in the game, I didn't know the game at all. So, of course, they can, Diesel, you want to fight these people? Yeah, I'll fight them. And they played off of that, that I will fight anybody. And that's why they took me in on fights like that. Plus, ain't no telling what money that they made on the back end.
That's
of
true.
Making the fight.
All right, I understand that you kind of have another career outside of boxing. I just want to bring that up real quick. Explain to me what 1093 Entertainment Crew is.
That's a record label that I run with my big brother and my little brother. And we're in the independent label, trying to make some moves with that, and as far as I'm actually an artist on it, and my little brother is an artist on it. And we'll be coming out with projects pretty soon. He's coming out with one called The Revolution, and my project is called The Emotional Overdose.
Now, this is rapping, right?
Yes.
Okay. Anything, do you have any fights coming up? Is there anything for this summer that you want to announce or tell your fans about?
Well, just far as the music, that'll be coming out like summer, fallish, what I'm saying, going into the winter time. But as far as the fight, right now, well, since my last fight, with it getting cold in Ohio, I didn't have time to really train too much. So, I'm just getting in shape right now. I'm looking to probably fight at least like the end of April, beginning of May.
Okay, but there's no opponents lined up or anything. You're just trying to get ready for that?
Yeah, there's no opponents yet. That's just the time I'm looking to go. Well, I know I'll be ready.
Okay, and I'm going to end it on, the big fight's been made for May 2nd, Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather. Why don't you break down that fight for me?
Well, Floyd is a smart fighter. I think Pacquiao could actually beat him, because he punches from all angles. Yes, Floyd is a smart fighter and he's skillful. But when you got a guy that's throwing a million punches at you, how could you be skillful if they're throwing a million punches? Plus, Pacquiao is strong, and he punches at angles, and he boxes at different angles. Which Floyd will try to shoulder roll and tuck in shot the shell, and Manny Pacquiao ain't gonna let him do none of that. And it's in Vegas, and Floyd's his Vegas son, so you know how the politics gonna play on that. So I don't think Pacquiao got a chance of winning anyway. Far as the politics.
So you agree with a lot of people that the only way Pacquiao's going to win this fight is he has to knock him out?
He got to put him to sleep. I'm talking about unconscious sleep.
kind of basically what happened to Pacquiao with Marquez. He's got to basically do the same thing to Floyd.
Right.
Okay, anything you want to say to your fans and your supporters out there?
I just wanted to thank them for showing so much love and showing so much support, you know, and following me through my career, actually understanding my career, you know, and I love the fans, you know, and just keep riding with me, man. We going all the way to the top, and I will be world champion.
All right. And on that note, the truth has spoken.